The 2025 NBA draft is less than a month away, and the deadline for college players to withdraw from the draft has now passed. So in this video, we are going over our updated 2025 NBA mock draft. Let's jump into it. With the first pick, the Dallas Mavericks select Cooper Flagg, who is a franchise-altering forward who checks just about every box as a number one pick. After trading Luka Doncic in the middle of the season, Dallas lands the perfect piece to build around for both the present and the future. Flagg is one of the most complete two-way prospects we've seen in years, an elite defender who can guard all 5 positions, and a high IQ offensive player who can shoot, pass, and hustles nonstop. His versatility makes him an ideal fit in just about any lineup, and his relentless motor helps set the tone on both the offensive and defensive end. The Mavs are betting on his shot creation and jumper to continue to develop like we saw in college, and if they do, Cooper Flagg has legitimate Hall of Fame upside. This pick is as close as to a lock as it gets, and Dallas just secured the cornerstone of its next era. With the second pick, the San Antonio Spurs select Dylan Harper, who is a savvy, physically gifted combo guard out of Rutgers with serious upside. A trade could make sense for the Spurs here, but if they end up staying at number 2, Harper's talent is way too good to pass up. At 6'6" with a 6'10" wingspan, he brings elite size, feel, and playmaking to the backcourt. And yes, there are some fit questions with Stephon Castle and De'Aaron Fox already in the backcourt for the Spurs, but Harper is the clear number 2 talent in this class and gives the Spurs a long-term creator who can dictate tempo and score in multiple ways. He's shown off-ball growth as a spot-up shooter and has Harden-like finishing craft. And if his shooting consistency and lateral quickness continue to improve, San Antonio may have landed its next star guard to grow alongside Victor Wembanyama. With the third pick, the Philadelphia 76ers select Ace Bailey. Bailey is an electric shot maker with sky-high offensive potential, and the Rutgers freshman dazzled with his ability to hit tough, contested jumpers from all over the floor and brings the type of athletic flair that could complement Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain in the long run. While Bailey's raw shot creation and defensive fundamentals need some work, the Sixers will be betting on upside here as well. His pull-up game, soft shooting touch, and explosive athleticism make him one of the most dynamic scorers in this year's draft class. And Philly may explore trade options as well, but if they keep the pick, Bailey gives them a high-ceiling wing who can grow into a major scoring threat, especially if he improves his strength, shot selection, and decision making like I think he will. And it's a swing for star upside for sure, which could pay off big for the 76ers in the next year. With the fourth pick, the Charlotte Hornets grab VJ Edgecombe, an explosive high motor wing who perfectly complements LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller in my opinion. After a standout interview with the Hornets, league sources believe Edgecombe is a strong favorite here, and for good reason. He's a dynamic athlete who plays above the rim, defends with energy, and can knock down spot-up jumpers. His slashing and cutting give Charlotte a much-needed injection of physicality and hustle on the wing, and while Edgecombe still needs to polish his ball handling and develop some shot creation, that won't be a major concern in Charlotte with LaMelo Ball running the offense. The Hornets are betting on Edgecombe's elite athleticism, fearless mentality, and his role player tools to elevate their core, and if that shot creation catches up like I think it will, they could be looking at a future two-way star. With the fifth pick, the Utah Jazz select Trey Johnson out of Texas, and he's a pure scorer with a knack for hitting tough shots and igniting the crowd. Johnson might be the best shot maker in this year's draft class, capable of drilling step-back threes, movement threes, and fadeaways with ease. The Jazz are going with Johnson's offensive upside with this pick, especially with a roster lacking a true go-to perimeter scorer. And while he needs to improve his defense, get some more strength, and sometimes pick better shots, his offensive skill set is already NBA ready. And Johnson also has shown flashes of playmaking and point guard instincts, giving Utah some long-term flexibility in its backcourt. His confidence, clutch gene, and ability to move without the ball make him an exciting addition to a rebuilding Jazz team that needs a dynamic wing who can create offense in a variety of ways. With the 6th pick, the Washington Wizards select Kamam Malawach, the 7'2" center with a 7'7" wingspan and elite physical tools out of Duke. This pick is all about long-term upside and building a defensive identity in Washington. Malawach brings elite rim protection, mobility, and interior finishing, and can fit perfectly with Washington's young core. He's a lob threat on offense, a shot-blocking anchor on defense, and plays with high effort on both ends of the floor. And while he is still raw and learning the game, his motor and physical gifts are too rare to pass up. The Wizards are going to be betting on his development, knowing patience will be key with this pick, but he can continue to develop a jumper like we've seen in the pre-draft process, or if he refines his fundamentals, they could have a franchise-altering two-way big man anchoring their future front court. With this 7th pick, the New Orleans Pelicans are taking a swing on upside and selecting Jeremiah Fears out of Oklahoma. One of the youngest players in this year's draft, Fears is a dynamic, twitchy guard with serious lead playmaker potential. His ability to break down defenses, change speeds, and create off the dribble gives the Pelicans a possible star in the making, especially important as they look to define their future core. He's shown flashes of clutch brilliance and feel as a scorer, particularly in late game situations, but there is a risk. He does have some inconsistent decision making and poor three-point shooting and some defensive concerns that can all raise some red flags. But still, if Fears develops his shots and tightens his playmaking, he could become a lead explosive guard in New Orleans that they've been missing. And it's a high-risk, high-reward move that could pay off in a big way, and I think the Pelicans will take a swing here at the 7th pick. With the 8th pick, the Brooklyn Nets take a long-term swing by selecting Noah Esingay, a raw but tantalizing forward from France. At 6'9" with a 7' plus wingspan and fluid athleticism, Esingay fits the mold of the modern NBA wing. Brooklyn is in full rebuild mode right now, and Esingay gives them a high upside project with legitimate two-way potential. His handle, finishing creativity, and defensive versatility already pop, and his passing instincts make him more than just an athlete. The shot isn't there yet, but he's shown steady growth as a free throw shooter and has soft touch near the rim, and if the jumper continues to develop, Brooklyn could have a gem on their hands. It's a future foes pick, but one that aligns perfectly with the Nets' current trajectory. With the 9th pick, the Toronto Raptors select Con Knipple out of Duke. A polished, high IQ wing whose elite shooting makes him one of the safest bets in the draft. Toronto is looking for someone who can contribute right away, and Knipple fits that mold perfectly. He's a lethal spot-up shooter with deep range and great off-ball movement, making him an ideal floor spacer next to Toronto's young core. But he's more than just a shooter. Knipple has sneaky good passing feel in transition and ball screens, and his crafty footwork helps him finish inside despite lacking elite athleticism. While questions do remain about his lateral quickness and defensive ceiling, his efficient scoring and basketball IQ should allow him to make an immediate impact, and this pick gives the Raptors a plug-and-play contributor who helps space the floor and play smart team basketball from day one. With the 10th pick, the Houston Rockets select Kasparas Yakishonis, a crafty playmaker with real upside as a dynamic lead guard. Houston's backcourt needs more creativity, and Yakishonis brings just that. He's a fearless scorer and a slick passer who thrives in the pick-and-roll scenarios, using his size and feel to find open teammates and create shots at all three levels. And whether it's a step-back three or a creative finish at the rim, he plays with confidence and some flair. And while his decision-making and defense need some serious work, especially after struggling with turnovers and foul issues late in the season, his upside is pretty clear, and if the Rockets can be patient and help him develop physically and mentally, Yakishonis could become a long-term engine for their offense. With the 11th pick, the Portland Trailblazers select Carter Bryant out of Arizona, who is a versatile forward who fits their defensive-minded rebuild. Bryant's length, athleticism, and quickness make him a promising multi-positional defender who can switch across the floor. Offensively, he's a skilled spot-up shooter with a smooth, high-release stroke. He finished the season strong, hitting over 45% of his threes in key games. And Bryant is also an excellent cutter, constantly moving without the ball to create scoring opportunities for both himself and others. And however, his ball handling and shot creation are still raw, and he struggles generating offense off the dribble. But despite this, the Blazers value his defensive upside and shooting potential with this pick, seeing him as a key piece in their effort to build a tough, versatile team moving forward. With the 12th pick, the Chicago Bulls select Derek Queen, adding much-needed youth and size to their roster. Queen's skill set stands out for a big man. His exceptional at-the-rim finishing and ball handling allow him to create his own shot and operate like a guard in transition. He also shows strong playmaking ability with the potential to become an offensive hub through his passing and court vision. Defensively, he could offer switchability and the ability to guard multiple positions if he continues to improve his conditioning, and the Bulls would be betting on Queen's versatile game and natural feel to develop a reliable jumper and become a modern dynamic big who fits along well next to their young core. With the 13th pick, the Atlanta Hawks select Igor Dimin out of BYU, the 6'9" guard who is known for his elite playmaking and size. Dimin's exceptional passing and court vision make him one of the best creators in this draft, especially effective in pick and roll situations. His ability to move without the ball and fit into motion offenses adds valuable versatility. Defensively, his size and length give him potential as a versatile defender, and the Hawks are going with his unique skill set despite shooting struggles and a lack of explosive shot creation. But if this continues to develop, Dimin could develop into a dynamic playmaker and a valuable two-way guard for Atlanta's evolving roster. With the 14th pick, the San Antonio Spurs select Cedric Coward, who has had a remarkable rise from Division III to a top prospect thanks to his elite 3-and-D skill set. Coward's combination of size and athleticism makes him a versatile defender who can guard multiple positions. He's also a reliable shooter, hitting nearly 39% from 3, with smooth footwork and the potential to score off the dribble. Coward's high basketball IQ and strong passing vision add to his value as a second playmaker, and though he missed part of the season due to injury and needs to improve his strength and ball handling, the Spurs are banking on his upside as a tough, multifaceted wing. With the 15th pick, the Oklahoma City Thunder select Asa Newell, a perfect fit for their high-energy, defensive-minded style. Newell is an explosive athlete known for rim protection, chase down blocks, and versatile switch defense. His ability to finish strong at the rim and hustle on both ends fits the Thunder's pace and physicality. And while his jumper and passing need some work, his length and timing make him a promising help defender. And Newell's main concerns are the defensive discipline and limited shooting range, but with development, he could become a valuable two-way player who impacts the game with energy and defensive versatility. And the Thunder would clearly value his upside as a disruptive defender and athletic finisher. With the 16th pick, the Orlando Magic select Nick Clifford, a versatile NBA-ready wing who fills a big need for the Magic. Orlando ranked near the bottom in both three-point volume and efficiency last season, and Clifford's 39% catch-and-shoot mark makes him a natural fit. He brings length, defensive toughness, and elite rebounding for his position, traits that the Magic value highly. And at 6'6" with a 7-foot wingspan, Clifford can guard multiple positions, crash the boards, and contribute as a cutter, playmaker, and spot-up shooter. And while his age and Mountain West pedigree may raise some questions, his polished skill set and physical tools make him one of the most plug-and-play prospects in this year's draft class. With the 17th pick, the Minnesota Timberwolves select Rasheer Fleming. Fleming is a long, high-energy forward whose 7'5" wingspan and 39% three-point shooting make him an intriguing fit alongside the Timberwolves' current core. Minnesota continues to value floor spacing bigs like Naz Reid and Julius Randle, and defensive length, and Fleming checks both of those boxes. He's a hustle player who thrives off the ball, hits spot-up shots, and crashes the glass, and disrupts plays defensively. And while his ball handling and shot creation are limited, the Wolves won't need him to do much off the bounce with Anthony Edwards. And in a structured system with shooters and playmakers, Fleming could thrive as a high-motor 3-and-D role player off the bench. With the 18th pick, the Washington Wizards take a swing on upside, selecting Illinois wing Will Riley. At 6'8" with smooth shot creation and promising playmaking flashes, Riley offers the kind of jumbo scoring potential that rebuilding teams crave. He's a confident driver with the vision to create for others, and his improved measurements at the combine suggest his body is starting to catch up with his game. While his jumper remains streaky at times and his defense is a concern due to lack of strength and awareness, Washington has time to develop him, and this is a classic high-risk, high-reward pick and a long-term investment in a skilled scorer with lottery-level type talent. With the 19th pick, the Brooklyn Nets select Jace Richardson out of Michigan State. Richardson is a tough, high IQ combo guard with a silky scoring ability. And despite measuring just 6'1", Richardson plays much bigger thanks to his wingspan, craft, and fearlessness. He thrives in the mid-range, finishes well at the rim, and creates efficiently out of the pick and roll. Brooklyn will be valuing his polished offensive game and competitive edge on defense with this pick. And while his size and isolation scoring raise some concerns, his instincts, shooting touch, and decision-making give him a solid floor. This is a bet on basketball feel and skill over the raw measurables, and it could pay off big for the Nets. With the 20th pick, the Miami Heat select Nolan Traore, a high upside point guard from France with elite speed and a growing offensive game. Miami will be betting on his ability to develop into a dynamic playmaker with this pick, and he led this draft class in assist percentage and has shown real growth as a shooter, hitting nearly 40% from 3 late in the season. While his decision-making and defense do need some work, Traore's quickness and creativity fit the Heat's mold of raw talent with serious potential. His playmaking could also free up Tyler Hero to play more comfortably off the ball as a 2-guard, giving Miami a long-term spark in the backcourt. With the 21st pick, the Utah Jazz select Colin Murray-Boyles out of South Carolina, who is a defensive menace with a 7'1" wingspan and elite versatility. Utah needs help on the defensive end, and Murray-Boyles would bring exactly that, locking up multiple positions, grabbing boards, and disrupting plays with his freakishly quick hands. He's built like a tank but moves like a wing, giving the Jazz a switchable anchor on defense. Offensively, he's a bruising finisher with impressive playmaking feel, especially as a short roll passer. And if he can develop that reliable jumper, he would be one of the biggest steals in the draft, especially if he ended up falling this far to the Jazz. With the 22nd pick, the Atlanta Hawks take Maxime Reynaud, a skilled 7'1" French big man who fits perfectly in today's NBA. He has a rare blend of shooting, ball handling, and playmaking for a player his size, and Reynaud can knock down threes, handle in space, and dish out impressive passes, traits that add real versatility to the Hawks' front court if they made this pick. Defensively, he uses his length and positioning to contest shots, even if he's not an elite shot blocker. And while there are questions about his mid-range game and post strength, his all-around offensive toolkit makes him a strong value pick here. With the 23rd pick, the Indiana Pacers select Thomas Sorber, a physical, old-school big with modern upside. The Pacers could use front court depth, and Sorber brings an intriguing blend of rim protection, soft touch post scoring, and passing vision. His 7'6" wingspan helps overcome his 6'9" height, allowing him to impact the paint defensively. And while he's not the most explosive athlete or polished perimeter defender, he has the tools to thrive in a drop coverage system. And if Sorber can develop a reliable jump shot and improve his pick and roll finishing, Indiana could end up with a steal late in the first round. With the 24th pick, the Oklahoma City Thunder select Liam McNeely. McNeely is a smart, sharpshooting wing who fits their need for floor spacing. And at 6'7", he thrives off the ball, relocating, cutting, and draining catch-and-shoot threes with ease. He's not a shot creator, but with OKC's playmakers already in place, McNeely's ability to stretch the floor and keep the ball moving makes him an ideal complementary piece. His feel for the game and secondary playmaking give him plug-and-play potential, and if his shooting translates consistently, the Thunder may have just added another weapon to their already loaded offense with this pick. With the 25th pick, the Orlando Magic select Walter Clayton Jr. out of Florida. Clayton Jr. is a fearless scorer and lights-out shooter who could provide instant offense off the bench for the Magic. And despite being just 6'3", Clayton's shooting versatility is elite. He can hit off the dribble, off the catch, and in clutch moments as we saw in March Madness. Orlando's offense ranked near the bottom among playoff teams, so adding a microwave scorer like Clayton gives them a much-needed scoring punch. And while his defense and playmaking will need some work, his ability to get buckets in high-pressure moments make him a valuable piece for a team that's building toward contention. With the 26th pick, the Brooklyn Nets select Ben Saraf, a crafty 6'6" Israeli guard with advanced pick-and-roll instincts and a high feel for the game. Brooklyn's in full rebuild mode with multiple first-round picks in this draft, and Saraf offers a long-term backcourt upside as a skilled passer and a crafty scorer. He's been compared to Luka in terms of footwork and pacing, and shows a real knack for manipulating defenders. And while there are concerns that exist around his shooting consistency and athleticism for the next level, his size, feel, and competitiveness give the Nets a developmental guard who can become a valuable piece if the shooting continues to improve. With the 27th pick, the Brooklyn Nets select Drake Powell, who is a high-motor, switchable wing with one of the best athletic profiles in this year's draft class. Even though he didn't stuff the stat sheet at North Carolina, teams are intrigued by his 3-and-D upside, especially after a strong NBA combine testing and efficient shooting and workouts with teams. Brooklyn would clearly be betting on the tools and long-term role fit here with Powell, because Powell brings defensive versatility, spot-up shooting nearly 38% from 3 this past season, and solid finishing at the rim. And although he's not a shot creator, his motor, physicality will give him the upside as a connector and make him a strong developmental piece for the Nets. With the 28th pick, the Boston Celtics select Danny Wolf out of Michigan, a 7-footer who flashes guard-like skills. Wolf was Michigan's offensive hub this past season, showcasing ball handling, passing vision, and shot creation rarely seen with a player his size. Boston, known for valuing skill and versatility, could use Wolf as a developmental piece behind their established bigs. He's a creative playmaker and rebounder who competes hard, but his shooting inconsistencies, lack of athleticism, and turnover issues make him much more of a project. Still, the Celtics are betting on his unique offensive ceiling to eventually pay off in their system. With the 29th pick, the Phoenix Suns select Ryan Kalkbrenner out of Creighton, who is a 7'1" center known for elite shot blocking and efficient interior scoring. The Suns need size and defensive presence behind or alongside their stars, and Kalkbrenner offers a high floor option who can contribute right away next season. He's a 4-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year with a massive wingspan and a polished post game. And while his mobility and rebounding do raise some questions for someone his size, his sneaky passing ability and flashes of shooting touch suggest potential growth. This is a safe, smart pick for the win-now team looking for stability at the center spot. And with the 30th pick and last of the first round, the Los Angeles Clippers select Noah Penda, the 6'8" French forward who has a high IQ, winning mentality, and a versatile skill set. While Pinda may not flash star upside when you watch him, he fits the mold of a modern role player capable of defending multiple positions, moving the ball, and doing the little things that help teams win. He impressed with his late season production and all-around impact, and the Clippers value smart, switchable defenders, and Pinda brings that with room to grow as a shooter. It would be a low-risk, high-reward pick to close out the first round. With the 31st pick, the Minnesota Timberwolves select Adu Thiero out of Arkansas. Thiero is a physical, high-motor wing with a 7-foot wingspan and explosive athleticism. Thiero brings immediate value as a versatile defender and transition finisher, something the Wolves can use alongside their stars. And while his jumper remains a major concern, his strength, quick first step, and improving ability to create inside the arc give him an intriguing upside. Minnesota would be betting on his elite tools and energy translating to the next level and hoping their development staff can help him become a reliable 3-and-D contributor in time. It's a swing on toughness, defense, and long-term potential with the Adu Thiero for the Minnesota Timberwolves. With the 32nd pick, the Boston Celtics will take a long-term swing on Hugo Gonzalez, the high-motor defensive-minded wing out of Real Madrid. Though he played limited minutes this season, his athleticism, intensity, and defensive instincts pop on film. Boston already has a deep roster, so they can afford to develop Gonzalez slowly, and if that jump shot and ball handling catch up to where his physical tools are currently at, he could become a versatile two-way contributor down the line. This pick would be all about upside to go along with the tools, motor, and strong foundation that Gonzalez currently has to mold him into a future rotation piece or even a starter in Boston. With the 33rd pick, the Charlotte Hornets take a high upside swing on Joanne Behringer, an 18-year-old center with freakish athletic tools and a 7'4" wingspan. With Mark Williams' future in question in Charlotte, Behringer gives the Hornets a new long-term project at the 5 spot. And he's only been playing basketball for a few years, but already flashes elite defensive mobility, rim protection, and a lob finishing ability that would be scary to pair with LaMelo Ball. While his offensive game is extremely raw and his frame needs to continue filling out, the Hornets would be picking Behringer with the idea that he could grow into a switchable, shot-blocking big who can anchor their defense for years to come. With the 34th pick, the Charlotte Hornets select Bogoljub Markovic and add much-needed shooting, as he's a skilled 6'11" stretch forward from Serbia. The Hornets ranked 28th in the league in three-point percentage last season, so targeting a big who can knock down shots would make perfect sense. Markovic shot 43.8% from 3 this past season and also brings some post-scoring and passing chops with his game. At just 19 years old, he's still developing physically and will need to bulk up to hold his own defensively in the NBA, but with that offensive versatility and high feel for the game, Charlotte would pick this with the long-term upside that it could bring. With the 35th pick, the Philadelphia 76ers select Chaz Lanier out of Tennessee, who is one of the best pure shooters in this year's draft class. After finishing second in shooting drills at the NBA Combine and hitting over 223s over his past 2 seasons in college, Lanier would give Philly an instant floor spacing weapon. He transferred to Tennessee and proved he could shoot off movement, hit contested jumpers, and be one of the focus points of an offense in the SEC. And while he does lack ideal size, being just 6'4" and doesn't offer much as a playmaker or defender, his elite shot making could open the floor even more for 76ers stars Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. With the 36th pick, the Brooklyn Nets select Alex Touney, a versatile forward from Australia who fits perfectly as a role-playing glue guy for the Nets. Brooklyn already has shot creators, but Touney complements them with his defense, passing, and hustle. He showed improved shooting and solid off-ball play during the NBA Combine, looking like a stretch 4 option in today's league. And while his scoring remains inconsistent at times, and he's not necessarily a go-to shot creator, His high IQ, defensive motor, and willingness to make the extra pass could make him an ideal fit for a rebuilding Brooklyn team looking to add some smart, unselfish contributors to its rotation. With the 37th pick, the Detroit Pistons select Tyrese Proctor out of Duke. Proctor is a skilled combo guard who brings polish, poise, and a two-way upside. And Detroit needs more reliable perimeter shooting and smart ball movement, and Proctor delivers both. He's improved his jumper every year in college and now shoots confidently off the catch and the dribble. Though he's not an elite athlete or an explosive finisher, his high-level passing vision, mature decision-making, and tough on-ball defense make him a valuable backcourt piece. And for a young Pistons team in need of stability and shooting, Proctor could be a smart pick who can contribute right away as a secondary playmaker to Cade Cunningham. With the 38th pick, the San Antonio Spurs select Kobe Bryant out of Kentucky, who is one of the best pure shooters in this draft. San Antonio ranked near the bottom in three-point shooting last season, so adding a sniper like Brea would make perfect sense with this pick. And at 6'7", he drilled over 43% of his threes on high volume throughout his entire college career, and showcased a deep range, a quick release, and great off-the-ball movement. While he lacks top-end athleticism and will need to improve defensively to stay on the floor, his elite shooting gives him a clear pathway to becoming a rotation piece. And for the Spurs, this is a low-risk, high-reward pick focused on the spacing around Victor Wembanyama. With the 39th pick, the Toronto Raptors take a swing on upside by selecting Yannick Konan-Niederhauser out of Penn State. After impressing at the NBA Combine with highlight dunks, athletic testing, and flashes of perimeter skill, Konan-Niederhauser became one of the event's biggest risers. And at 7 feet tall, he's an elite athlete who lives above the rim as a lob threat and a shot blocker. But he also showed flashes of dribble drive ability that hint at a rare two-way potential. He's definitely raw and needs some serious work on his fundamentals, strength, and decision-making, but for a rebuilding Raptors squad, this is a high upside bet on a long-term development and elite tools that could help the Toronto Raptors in their future. With the 40th pick, the Washington Wizards select Jameer Watkins, a versatile 6'7" wing who fits the mold of a modern NBA defender. Watkins impressed with his ability to guard multiple positions, disrupt plays off the ball, and initiate offense as a secondary playmaker. And for a rebuilding team like Washington, adding a high-effort defender with slashing and ball-handling upside makes sense. The big swing here is whether he can develop a reliable jumper or not, as his shooting percentages are concerning. But his physical tools, feel for the game, and defensive prowess give him a chance to stick in a rotation if that shot comes around. With the 41st pick, the Golden State Warriors select Hansen Yang, a 7-foot center from China, known for his old-school post scoring and elite passing for his size. The Warriors value high IQ players, and Yang fits that mold as he sees the floor well, makes smart reads, and impressed at the NBA Combine with both his footwork and feel for the game. This pick would give Golden State a developmental big who could eventually run offense from the high post and contribute on the glass. The question is whether his lack of foot speed and shooting range can keep up with the NBA pace, but his skill set offers an intriguing upside that I think the Warriors take with this pick. With the 42nd pick, the Sacramento Kings select Cam Jones, a crafty scoring guard out of Marquette. With potential roster changes looming over the Kings, like a DeRozan departure or Sabonis trade, the Kings need more shot creation in the backcourt, and Cam Jones would bring just that. He's a smooth scorer with an advanced handle, deep shooting range, and improving playmaking instincts, and he excels at reading pick and rolls, finding teammates, and finishing creatively at the rim. While he does lack elite athleticism and his shooting can be streaky at times, his toughness on defense and ability to create on offense will give Sacramento a valuable second-round upside swing with this pick. With the 43rd pick, the Utah Jazz select Janiah Broome. Broome is a tough, experienced big man who brings an immediate interior impact, and he fits Utah's culture of physical, high IQ basketball. Broome is a strong post scorer, rim protector, and an underrated passer who plays with non-stop energy and emotion. His ability to finish through contact, block shots, and keep plays alive with hustle gives him a ready-made NBA role. And the biggest question for him is his jumper, as he's shown flashes but needs consistency to stretch the floor. Still, the Jazz could use his motor, defensive instincts, and overall game to contribute early as a rotational big in the NBA. With the 44th pick, the Oklahoma City Thunder take Hunter Sallis, a dynamic 6'5" guard who fits perfect with OKC's identity of length, versatility, and skill. Sallis brings efficient shot creation, soft touch at the rim, and strong defensive instincts, traits that complement their star-studded young core. He's one of the most polished mid-range scorers in this year's draft and plays with poise and control. And while his three-point consistency and strength still need some work, the Thunder would be betting on his upside as a two-way guard who can contribute off the bench now and grow into a bigger role down the line. With the 45th pick, the Chicago Bulls select Kobe Sanders. Sanders is a skilled 6'7" combo forward who brings maturity, playmaking, and three-level scoring to the table. He was one of the top performers at Portsmouth and shined at Nevada as a steady leader, averaging nearly 16 points and 4.5 assists this past season. And the Bulls make this pick to add a high IQ, versatile wing who can operate as a secondary ball handler and provide floor spacing as needed. And while Sanders isn't a high-level athlete, his smooth pull-up game, smart decision-making, and Kyle Anderson-like feel make him a valuable depth piece for a roster in need of poised, reliable role players going forward. With the 46th pick, the Orlando Magic select Javon Small out of West Virginia, who is an undersized but explosive guard known for his elite shooting and gritty play. Small's catch-and-shoot ability stands out, hitting 42.5% of his spot-up threes this past season. And the Magic would be making this pick for his playmaking and pick and rolls and his fearless downhill scoring, making him a solid candidate for a bench role with Orlando. And though his size limits his defensive potential and off-the-dribble shooting efficiency, Orlando would be getting his confidence and athleticism, which would translate as a versatile guard off the bench. With the 47th pick, the Milwaukee Bucks select Ryan Nembhard, a crafty floor general who can run an offense with precision. With Damian Lillard sidelined next season and Giannis's future uncertain, the Bucks need a dependable shot creator, and Nembhard's elite playmaking stands out as he averaged nearly 10 assists per game while keeping turnovers low this past year. And though he is undersized at 6 feet with some scoring and defensive limitations, he showed notable improvement in shooting during his senior year. And Milwaukee could value his high basketball IQ, energy, and ability to control the tempo, and would make him a strong candidate to help lead the second unit and facilitate the offense. With the 48th pick, the Memphis Grizzlies select Sion James out of Duke, who is a versatile guard that would offer much needed depth behind an injury-prone Ja Morant. James has transformed into a reliable spot-up shooter, boasting an impressive near 50% clip in his final college seasons. But beyond shooting, he's a crafty playmaker who thrives in a team offense and a tenacious defender capable of guarding multiple positions. Memphis will be betting on his strength and improved shooting to carve out a role on their team, and while his shot creation is limited and off-the-dribble shooting remains a question, his defense and spot-up shooting could make him a solid value pick in the second round. With the 49th pick, the Cleveland Cavaliers select John Tonji, who is a polished scorer coming off a strong season at Wisconsin. Tonji is a reliable shooter, knocking down over 40% of his catch-and-shoot threes and boasting an elite 91% free throw rate. His off-ball movement and ability to create secondary offense fit well with Cleveland's system, especially in a role as a floor spacer and scorer. And while his defense and athleticism do raise some concerns, he'll need to refine his playmaking, and the Cavs are banking on his scoring savvy and shooting to provide valuable depth late in this draft. With the 50th pick, the New York Knicks select Amari Williams out of Kentucky, who is a versatile 7-footer with a rare playmaking skills for his position. Williams stands out as a high post facilitator who can initiate offense with solid passing and the occasional ball handling, making him a unique big man threat. Defensively, his foot speed and rim protection add valuable versatility for the Knicks with this pick as well, especially when they're switching in their defenses. And while his shooting mechanics and low post scoring need work, New York is betting on his size, basketball IQ, and ability to impact both ends as a developing two-way center who can create plays and protect the paint. With the 51st pick, the Los Angeles Clippers would take a gamble on Dink Pate, who is a 6'7" athletic wing with strong size and pro experience in the G League. While Pate's scoring ability, especially in transition and his ball handling, is promising, his inconsistent shooting and finishing, combined with his defensive awareness issues, make him a high-risk, high-reward pick. But his raw athleticism and length give him the ability to develop into a versatile two-way player. And if Pate can refine his shot and improve his defense, he could become a valuable asset as a dynamic scorer and defender in the future. With the 52nd pick, the Phoenix Suns would select Eric Dixon, a 6'8", 260-pound forward who led the nation in scoring and drilled almost 100 threes last season. And while there are concerns about Dixon's athleticism and defensive versatility, his shooting touch makes him an intriguing stretch four option. Phoenix will be betting on his ability to space the floor, set hard screens, and bring physicality off the bench. And he won't be a high usage player at the next level, but his toughness, versatility, and scoring instincts give the Suns a tone setter with plug and play potential. With the 53rd pick, the Utah Jazz select Bryce Williams, a 24-year-old wing out of Nebraska who brings polished scoring and instant offense to the team. He's an efficient three-level scorer, highlighted by shooting 44% on pull-up jumpers and 61.5% at the rim. And while he's not a defensive stopper and he's still learning to balance his scoring with playmaking, Williams' ability to hit tough shots off the dribble and move well without the ball makes him a solid value pick this late in the draft. And the Jazz will be prioritizing skill and shot creation over raw upside with this one. With the 54th pick, the Indiana Pacers select big man Rocco Sikorsky, a 7'3" Australian center who fits the traditional rim protector and interior finisher role. Despite limited offensive polish and some injury setbacks, Sikorsky's size, mobility, and defensive presence make him an intriguing late second-round gamble. The Pacers are likely considering developing him overseas if they make this pick, or in the G League, and would hope his shot blocking and rebounding translates to the NBA level. And while his perimeter defense and shooting are definitely concerns, Indiana will be valuing his potential as a physical anchor in the paint down the line. With the 55th pick, the Los Angeles Lakers select wing RJ Lewis Jr., adding a tough, versatile defender who can set a physical tone alongside Luka Doncic and LeBron James. Luis brings relentless energy attacking the paint, drawing fouls, and crashing boards, and his ability to score in the post and cut effectively adds to his offensive toolkit. However, he is an inconsistent shooter, and his decision-making can hold him back, which was evidenced by being benched late in college. But the Lakers will be betting on his defensive versatility and intensity, and hoping he can develop a more consistent offensive game to complement their core. With the 56th pick, the Memphis Grizzlies select Elijah Martin, a hyper-athletic guard known for his high energy, toughness, and defensive intensity. Martin plays bigger than his 6'2" frame and impacts games with his rebounding and relentless defense. The Grizzlies are banking on his physicality and effort in this pick to boost their perimeter defense. However, Martin's shooting is streaky and inconsistent at times, and his limited playmaking ability does raise some questions about his offensive role, but still, the elite athleticism and grit that he has make him a valuable late second-round gamble for Memphis in this spot, as they would be looking to add some defensive depth and versatility. With the 57th pick, the Orlando Magic select Izan Amanza, a skilled international big known for his versatility as an offensive facilitator and a strong rebounder. Almanza's ability to handle the ball in the post, set smart screens, and make plays for his teammates fits Orlando's need for a playmaking big man, and while his shooting and athleticism still need development, his high basketball IQ and defensive effort give him potential to grow into a reliable two-way player. And his flashes of upside that we've seen so far could eventually be a preview of the key piece to the Magic's frontcourt rotation. With the 58th pick, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Mark Sears out of Alabama, who is a crafty scoring guard known for his tough shot making and strong frame. Sears impressed at the combine with his shooting drills and ability to create offense, making him a worthwhile late second round gamble. He has a quick release, is a great pull-up three-point shooter, and brings physicality to the guard spot. However, there are concerns that remain about his defense and athleticism. But the Cavs have other players that could mask those weaknesses, and Sears could carve out a valuable role as a scoring spark and a floor spacer off the bench. With the 59th pick, the Houston Rockets select Vlad Golden, a big Russian center from Michigan known for his soft touch around the rim and emerging jump shot. Houston could value Golden's low post scoring ability, his physicality, and the improved free throw shooting that we saw this past season, and could see him as a potential rotation big who can score efficiently in the paint. And while their concerns remain about his perimeter defense and athleticism, the Rockets will be betting on a motor and skill set that could develop into a reliable interior presence, adding toughness and scoring depth to their front court. Thanks for watching, and if you want to see my last 2025 NBA mock draft, make sure to click the link and let me know in the comments what you think of this mock. Also, if you enjoyed the content, please make sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.